All right, test. Looks like we are live. So, today's video, we are working on this aftermarket carburetor here. This is from a 2004 through 2005 Honda TRX450R. And the original carburetor, it's pretty bad condition. Looks like the bike's been sitting for probably 5-6 years or so. Try to remember to keep the carburetor in focus of the camera while I'm working on it. But basically, the amount of labor it would have taken to fix this carburetor and all the little nooks and nannies, it's kind of getting to the cost of you could almost buy a new one. I think a new one around $500 to $600, maybe 700, closer to 700 with tax and shipping. This aftermarket carburetor here I got for just under $100, I want to say, and a little bit easier to install it. After prepping, taking the old carburetor out, went through the gas tank, cleaned it. One of the brass fittings inside the gas tank was damaged, so we had to go ahead and fix that. And then last but not least is our carburetor here. So I was having an issue printing out the directions for it this morning, but I do have the directions pulled up right here. So customer wants to go ahead and do a stage 1 kit. So this is the kit right here that comes for our carburetor, and there's some little things in here that I haven't seen before, but it's pretty straightforward once you read it and kind of figure out what's going on. But basically, we're going to plug the main air jet, which is this orifice right here. So hopefully our plug, that's this little brass piece that's in the this little baggie here, that gets pressed in. Hopefully this outer diameter is the same as stock, because this right here is designed to probably have somewhat of an interference fit to not only block air, but so it doesn't fall out when the carburetor gets hot. So hopefully that's good. This is a jet needle, the main jet holder. We will not be using this. This is if you're going to go ahead and run the stage 2. And let's see. Comes with the jet needle here, DN0912. So this jet needle is going to be used for both stage 1 and stage 2. I believe the jet needle, the clip needle or the clip position is just a little bit different. And we'll find out right now as I'm going to read the directions here. So let's see, we got some people in the chat. Got number 1 here. Not sure what that means. Still trying to figure out the YouTube. Got Wiley GB14 saying hi, and we got SRI saying hi. What's going on, guys? Welcome. We're going to be putting a DynoJet rebuild into this carburetor here. Here should be pretty straightforward. So I'm going to cheat here. So we're going to go ahead and do stage 1. I'll just go ahead and read the directions here. Let's see. So stage 1, it says remove the top carb plate, remove the 2 needle plate screws, flip the linkage forward, and remove the needle. The slide does not need to be removed from the carb. Just pull the stock needle out from here. Install moose needle on groove number 3 from the top for applications below 5,000 feet. So that's going to apply to us. We're not riding in the mountains. This one's going to be used probably no. I think the customer said like I don't know if you said Feeland or Barstow, but that's pretty much around 3,000, no more than 3,000 feet. So should be fine. Let's see. We're going to go ahead. Groove number 2 for above 5,000 feet. So we're going to groove number 3 from the top. And then locate the main air jet using the tool. Lightly tap the main air jet plug into the main air jet with the flat end in first. Remove the stock main jet. The main jet can be accessed by removing the nut from the bottom of the float bowl. Install the Moose main adapter into the emulsion tube first. Oh, so I guess you are going to use the emulsion tube. Wait. Install the main jet adapter into the emulsion tube first. Install the Moose main jet provided. If you're running the stock exhaust, install the DJ112 for under 3,000 feet. Install the DJ108 main jet from 3,000 to 6,000. Install the DJ104 if above 6,000 feet. If you're running an aftermarket exhaust or slip-on with a high flow baffle, use the DJ116 main jet, install the one. Okay, so I think let me go take a look at the bike really quick. Yeah, so it looks like it has a full big gun exhaust. Let's take a look at our project bike here. So this is our project bike that we're working on. One of the project bikes, got a lot of projects. So went ahead and fixed the gas tank. Doesn't appear to be looking. Got the new China petcock in there. Sealed it, fixed it. Should be good. So we're using the stock air box with the lid, and I'm not sure if it has a. I'll take a look at that. But nonetheless, we have a big gun, the Evo X. These are a high flow, and I believe this right here doesn't look to be like the stock exhaust. This almost looks like somebody made it. It's kind of hard to tell, or modified it, but this could be a full big gun exhaust. So if that's the case, we're gonna go ahead and stick with it. Has obviously an aftermarket exhaust system, stock air box. That's something just to consider. Wiley, it's going good. Just fixing bikes, trying to get this 450 going so we can fire her up. How's your guys' day going? Anybody got any riding plans for the weekend? It's pretty hot over here in Southern California. It's almost could really only kind of go riding in the morning after like 12 o'clock. It's kind of hot. I think the high over here is only going to be 85 degrees, but it feels like almost 100. So let's see. If you're running the stock exhaust, install the DJ112. If we're using a race exhaust or a slip-on with the high flow baffle, we're going to use the 116 main jet. Locate the fuel using a flat blade, turn the mixture screw clockwise, then turn it out 2.5 turns. Okay, copy. So what do I got here? This is the jet needle holder. Let's see. So let's go ahead and I believe it's set on the third groove from the top. I don't think I've read anything about using any spacers. So usually for like half step increments is typically what this little washer is for. You put it underneath this clip here, and that kind of raises it about half a clip position. So we're going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, third position. Usually take a little flathead, just kind of push that down. Make sure the middle tab there goes into the groove. And just be careful so you don't press it in too hard and deform the clip. But that looks good. It should rotate kind of freely. A little bit of resistance. We'll go ahead and come back to that. This is our plug. And then we're looking for a 116 for where we're riding at. So we got 175, 180. It's probably going to be for the stage 2. Here we go, 116. So, yep, main jet. Is it one? Install the blah blah blah. If you are running an aftermarket exhaust or slip-on with a high flow baffle, use the DJ116 main jet. Oh wait, did I read this out of order? If you're running the stock exhaust, if you're running an aftermarket, use the DJ116. Saw the D from 3000, saw the 1A above. Okay, yeah, so we're running the 116. Just want to make sure I was reading that correctly. Okay, so let's see, we'll be doing that. So now I guess we can go ahead and it's pretty simple. Here's the pilot mixture screw. Go ahead and turn that in. And then back it off 2.5 times. So we got half, 1, half, 2, half. 2.5 times, perfect. And then we can remove this nut here on the float bowl. It's going to be a 17 millimeter. use this big wrench here. So you could almost technically, it says you could do this inside the bike. I don't know if I believe that. It's usually a little bit easier to take it out. Hopefully we don't have any clearance issues. Let's see here. No, I don't know if I trust it. I'm going to go ahead and pull off the bowl anyways, just because, yeah, just because I can. It's always nice to take a look inside and see what kind of pilot jet we have too, depending on what the numbers are marked. Torqued fairly nice from China or India, who knows. Make it a little easier to remove this throttle cable cover. Okay, it all looks pretty nice. Nice in China. Okay. So it seems like this almost has its own jet needle holder. I wonder what the stock, what does the stock one look like? So here's the stock parts. Interesting. So this is the emulsion tube. The emulsion tube, that hex is part of the emulsion tube. So it actually wants you to take that off. That's going to be a 7 millimeter. It's going to be a 6. So it came stock with the 118. We're going to put in the adapter. Shit, is this stuff even going to fit? And I think that's going to be a, no, it's a, they're both 7 millimeters, it looks like. So double check the torque. Good. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and install the 116. The big old 116, very nice. So they're roughly about the same height installed. This is just a little bit longer. So it's probably going to sit into the that weld nut there a little bit, just a little bit deeper than stock. Okay, boom. That's pretty much it. That all looks good. For shits and giggles, I'd like to see what my pilot jet is. Is this my pilot jet or is this my starter jet? No, looks like a pilot. So pilot has a 48. Okay, and what was stock? Kind of curious. So stock has a 48S, and the main was a 165RD. So somebody definitely had a different jet in there. Looks like it was probably running super. I have no idea, but sometimes people do that when they put the aftermarket exhaust. They don't realize that changing the jet needle and the main jet, they have to be, kind of, they go together, and they'll just put like a really big main jet in there, and it'll kind of run right, but not really. It'll only run right at full throttle. Won't really run right from the lower to mid range. It'll be getting too much gas. So just want to keep those things in mind. Go ahead and put, let's see. Oh yeah, double check good. I think that went like that. Let's take another look. So the orientation of the main jet baffle here, fuel baffle, it's got to make sure it's clocked for this fuel spigot or overflow tube here, that it goes down correctly into the right position. Okay, that all looks nice. Go ahead and put our screws back in. Okay, and torque them down. Okay, put that back. Now we'll put just a little bit of grease on this O-ring here. That's just to kind of help ease it in. All right, so that's what the new main jet should look like. Hopefully it doesn't bottom out. Shouldn't. Okay. All right, boom. So now we're gonna go ahead and, I guess the last thing to do would be, where is it? Where did I just put it? This right here, this plug. So I'd almost like to see what the dimensions are, so I can make some of my own in the future if necessary. Or is it the same size as this tooling right here? It may not be super critical, it doesn't matter. So basically, it's a little plug here. But there's an open end and a closed end. The closed end is going to go in first. So this is like essentially like a driver. So it kind of just slips right in. Hopefully it doesn't want to fall out. And I want to say that's it. Okay. So I want to say that's pretty much it. That's all you have to do for the modification. Oh, well, I'm forgetting. Ha, we got to replace the jet needle. Who am I kidding? I was like, oh, that's almost too easy. Hold on, still got to replace this. This is the, I want to say more difficult, but slightly more time consuming. Okay, that exposes the inside there. So let's see. I can take it up. Might be able to do it in the closed position. Oh, it's a bigger. There we go. I'm not sure what size this is. Number 4? No, 4-inch. What is it? 603 number. Maybe it's a 4. I have no idea. Okay. So getting the screws out, it's half the battle. You gotta get the, I think you have to take off the linkage arm. Hold on here. Okay. So I might be able to get, Can I get that out without having to take this? Yeah, it looks like I can. If I use a magnetic hand. No. Maybe with a small pair of needles. Oh, can't see. No, I think that arm has to come off. Does it? Oh. There goes that direction. Aha. Two different jet needles, I want to say. The one that came in the China carb's a little bit thicker. They look kind of similar, but still different. Or is it the opposite, actually? They definitely have two different tunes. It looks like it's a little bit thinner and then starts to get thicker compared to the stock. Well, needless to say, drop it in and let's see what happens. So this is the stock one right here. Ah, There it is. Boom. Set. Go. Kind of clock that. It sits on there like that. This looks like they almost have just a little bit of Loctite on them. So let's go ahead and do the same thing. I'm gonna put like just a little bit of blue light strength. Very nice. Okay. So now at this point we can go ahead and put the cap back on. Doesn't look like there's any O-rings in there. Okay. Okay. That's pretty much it. So now what we could go ahead and do, and I'll probably make another video on this. We'll go ahead and show installing the carburetor into the bike, hooking it up, and then kind of go from there. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned, hit those comment boxes if you have any questions. This was for the DynoJet installation on a 2004 through 2005 Honda TRX450R. Basic stage one from basically sea level to 3,000 feet is what we just tuned this carburetor for. So typically right out of the box like that, they'll run pretty good. We might have to make a basic pilot mixture screw adjustment and obviously tune the idle speed. But besides that, usually that right there with this with an aftermarket exhaust system makes a world of a difference. So thanks for watching. If you aren't subscribed, go ahead and hit those subscribe buttons so you can stay up to date with just the random videos on the random bikes. Some of it may be applicable to what you're working on or what you own. And give this video a thumbs up. And once again, thanks for watching.